Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be reviewing the Dovetail Games A4 Pacifics in detail, which includes the A4s in the LNER Garter Blue, the A4s in the BR Green, and the A4s in the BR Blue. And this is excluding any reskins that I have. So let's start off with the most famous of them, number 4468 Mallard. Now this is the fastest steam train in the world. That record still holds today. And the A4s do have pretty realistic 3D textures. The nameplate is questionable. The handlebars, whatever you want to call them, they are pretty well detailed. The whistle is definitely very well textured as well. And just the locomotive itself is modeled really well. And you can see the cab detail is pretty good. We have these two ugly old men, and he's just knocking his head into the valve. But there's pretty good detail in the wheels, and the motion gear is also very detailed. I like how the detail in the vacuum pipe, the coupling, and that pipe, those pipes that are on the side of the front bogie. They captured the look of the streamlining extremely well. It really looks like an A4, even if this particular livery of Mallard does not really match the one how it looks at the National Railway Museum, but that is alright. The detail in the number is extremely good. I'd say that's very close to perfect. The geometry on this is very questionable. The side plaque here is quite detailed. I wouldn't exactly call the texture 3D, but it is definitely near to that scale. And these side panels, which make the train more streamlined, have also been pretty well detailed with realistic 3D textures. Now let's move on to the tender. This is a non-corridor tender. It's quite good. In fact, it's very good, I'd say. Again, with the LNER logo there, superb. The coal here is, when you look at it from above, it looks 3D. And well, it is, it's just not separate pieces of coal. Otherwise, this game would be a lot worse, lagging. If we go inside the cab and look in here, you can see that it's very well detailed in there as well, and the coal even looks 3D from a distance. Because if I zoom in there, it just doesn't really look very good now, does it? But I'd say the detail in this is pretty good. You got that shovel to shovel the coal and put it in the fireplace, which is closed. Irrelevant. But the back here, as I've said before, there's a lot of detail here. And the buffers are definitely questionable, but rather well detailed. And now I'll be moving on to the BR Green A4 Union of South Africa. Alright, now for Union of South Africa. Now this is not an LNER A4, this is a BR A4, and I'd say that it's quite good. It's not LNER, but British Railways, or BR for short. So let's just have a look at it. So the side panels have been removed because the BR-A4s do not have that streamlining, which exposes all of this motion gear, which gives us access to more details, like the reverse rod, I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. But we have this thing, whatever that is. Again, the nameplate is definitely questionable and not really like real life. The livery, though, while it's better than other liveries, I'd say it's not really accurate for Union of South Africa. For Dwight D. Eisenhower, it is definitely accurate, but for this particular A4, I don't really think that this is the correct shade of green that Union of South Africa is currently in. Now the number is 60009 or 60009. The South African crest, this is not a different model. It's just 3D texture, but whatever. Again, if we go inside the cab, there's cab details with ugly old men who are bashing their heads into the valves. And the tender is a corridor tender, so it is significantly different. Well, not significantly, but there is a difference between that and the normal tender. For one, there's this little window thing here, and of course the noticeable corridor, which will let the driver and fireman swap places on long travels. Again, with the buffers, questionable, but still quite detailed. And especially on the side here, those are quite well detailed as well. Now with the British Railways logo, I'd say that's perfect, because it just is. And same with the coal. It's 3D like when you look at it from above, but not really. Now if we go back here, just the interior is practically the same as the normal tender, like on Mallard, except for some different details, because this is a BR-A4, not an LNER A4. And we've got this shovel here for shoveling coal instead of, there. Okay, so this was looking at Union of South Africa in detail. Now to move on to Sir Nigel Gresley. Okay, we are on to the last of the A4 liveries that you get with the Dovetail Games A4 Pacifics, and this is BR Blue. And the only one that comes in BR Blue is Sir Nigel Gresley. So, again, since it's a BR A4, the side panels have been removed. It is British Railways. The logo is slightly different to Union of South Africa's, because this is the early British Railways Sir Nigel Gresley, although I'm pretty sure they still use this livery on it today. The nameplate is better than others, but still questionable. The motion gears, just the same as Union of South Africa, not much to say about that. Buffers, again questionable, but still quite good. The number 60007 also has this side plaque of when it was built and where it was built. We've also got this side plaque of when it did 112 miles an hour in wherever. I think that says 1959. I could be wrong though. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'd say this looks more 3D like than the Mallard one. If we go in here, inside the cab, same, just these ugly old men bashing their heads into the valves. But if we look over here, it's a BR Blue livery, but other than that, it's just the same detail as Union of South Africa. Again, tender, it's a corridor tender, it's the same It's the same model as Union of South Africa's corridor tender. It's just retextured. So there's not really much to say about this locomotive now. So that's all I have for this video, and in the next one we will be showing you in detail Dovetail Games' A3 Flying Scotsman in all of its liveries that comes with it. And so make sure to like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.